You're listening to A Midlife Less Ordinary, the weekly podcast giving you the lowdown on becoming a cool older dude. The good times are not a faded memory. It's time to start living them again. And here are your hosts, Wayne and Trev.
Yeah, welcome back to A Midlife Less Ordinary, everyone. I'm Wayne, and this episode is entitled All About Subbuteo, Flick My Ball. And I've got Trev on the substitutes bench. Trev, are you okay?
I'm looking forward to a good ball flicking.
Yeah. Well, what can I say?
And my index finger is exercised.
Oh, dear. Yeah, well, I couldn't even get through the introduction without you going smutty. It's terrible. Sorry about that. But yes, so yeah, thank you. It's all about Subbuteo. You know anything about Subbuteo, Trev?
Loved it as a kid. Painted my own teams, put all my little numbers on the back. I wasn't that good at it because I never really. I made my own rules up. That was the thing. I didn't like to stay by the rule, but then that's me in life anyway, really. But yeah, when I was a kid, I didn't like to make my own rules up. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was the only thing I didn't enjoy, and I don't think a lot of kids did, was like ironing the pitch, because when I got it, there wasn't an AstroTurf pitch.
Yeah,
exactly. And so you had to ask your mum to iron your Subbuteo pitch.
And she's looking at you
if she weren't ironing at the time, she'd be like, I've got to get the iron ball.
Another thing I've got to do. Yeah.
Oh, go on. Because obviously she wouldn't let me touch the iron because I'd probably just slap it.
And then also, because you need something flat, you just have to take the door off the hinges or something to lay it on, didn't you?
You did, yeah. I'm trying to think what I used to lay it on, actually. I think I had a bit of hardboard or something.
It's all
because
hanging around.
If you pinned it to it, you had that thing where if you pin your pitch out, you could like put it behind your sofa or something. But then obviously your family were watching TV and you wanted to, because I laid it on the floor. It was easier to lay your pitch on the floor, but you could never get the creases.
No, it just you're bobbling. Yeah, you know? I think every kid, because it's before computer games and everything, I think every kid had Subbuteo, collected some of the sets. I had a full comprehensive set in the 70s. I know you can't believe I'm that old, everyone, but yeah, I thought I'd get that in.
That's because I haven't seen pictures of you.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Your voice does sound quite young. But I didn't actually see you.
That's only because I've used a load of EQ to change it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. He's Benjamin Button.
But it's not a very curious case, unfortunately. But unfortunately, I sold my Subbuteo stuff. I swapped it now, actually, for a race and chase kit, which was like a cheap Scale Electrics clone in the 70s.
That's an American TCR.
Yeah, it was rubbish. And I wish I could have it back. So if you're out there who I swapped that with, I'll give you a $5 for it back or something like that. But we've got a real expert on today, somebody who's played at a very high level Subbuteo and an enthusiast. He's an author, and he's a deputy head of a school. And are you looking forward to it, Trev?
Definitely, yeah, because obviously I know a little bit about this, so I'm halfway there. I'm half wise to this, half Ernie, as I like to say. Half Ernie.
Well, it's all football, so it's all fun, and I'm really looking forward to learning a bit about it as well. So Sean Allison is the guest, and away we go. Enjoy. Thanks for joining us today, Sean. You're here to talk about Subbuteo, which is something you've been passionate about for most of your life. For people that maybe don't know too much about Subbuteo, could you just explain a little bit about what Subbuteo is and how you got involved with it, please?
Yeah, sure can. Thanks, Wayne. So Subbuteo is a table football game that is played on a table, and it has a football pitch, and you have 11 players each side, and you flick them around, and it's very, very similar to actual football, really, in terms of how it's played. How I got involved, the game itself has actually been around in certain form since about 1928, but as Subbuteo since 1947. I first started playing it, I think I was in junior school, and it was in about 1982, Spain 82, the World Cup was in full flow, Lineker scoring lots of goals, and somebody at Bournemouth Park Junior School organised a simulation Subbuteo World Cup, and I had a go at that, and I think that Trev was there as well for that. And, that's when I first started playing it.
I think I was, to be honest. I was there.
Absolutely.
Because I was quite into it then as well. Yeah, I was quite into it. Because I know the background of it. I obviously know a little bit about how it's played and that kind of stuff. But I kind of lost contact with the. But it's still always fascinated me. It's always it was really good fun. I don't think when I was playing it, I don't think I played the rules. Where obviously, Sean, the places you've been with it is obviously it's a lot more official and stuff. Like how far have you taken it? How far has it gone with you? If that makes sense.
Oh, I mean, so I played it as a child, and then teenage years kicked in, and I stopped playing it really. But then I kind of got back to it in the mid to late 90s, where the first school that I worked in had a Subbuteo table in the staff room, and at lunchtimes and that there was a staff league, and I thought, I remember that, and started playing again. And then from that, one of the other teachers was in the Worthing 5-Star Table Football Club, and that's where I live now in West Sussex. And I then started to play at that club, and then started to get better and better. And at one point, I think it was I won my first Worthing League title in 2001. And at one point, I was in the top 20 in the country. So, a pretty good level.
I'm going to say, yeah, that is something else. That's like,
what do you win for that, Sean? What do you get? A trophy? Is there a trophy, or is it just the credit that you get for winning?
It's just the glory, Wayne. Yeah, that's all.
You're in it for the glory.
just the glory.
What more do you need? What more do you need apart from glory?
What more do you need?
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it. Exactly.
Absolutely.
You don't need a little. You need a trinket on the side. You don't need to be looking at that. It's in your mind. The glory's there. Those years. Sean probably thinks back at that and will never that.
No one's going to take that away from me, Trev. Nobody.
Exactly. No, you're right there. You are spot on. No one would take that from you.
And at that point, actually, I also got to play the number one player in the world, who was, at that time, he was a Dutch fella called Erik Verhagen. And now, I mean, at that time, all he did was play Subbuteo, and he was probably in his mid to late 20s then, and he had sponsorship and everything. And it was at the London, it was in the London International Tournament, and I was drawn against him. And I mean, he was a completely, different level. So much so that he
really
played me. Oh yeah. He's right-handed, and he played me left-handed. And he beat me 13-0.
So he's like the Ronnie O'Sullivan of the Subbuteo.
What a show off.
Yeah.
Show off.
Exactly. I mean, I
would have wanted to punch him for that.
yeah.
That's real low. That is low. That's
it's a bit of a low blow.
That's like show. Did you know? Yeah, did you know that he was going to play you left-handed?
No.
Oh, right. Because for some reason, now when you say about the tournaments and stuff like, I got this feeling of like it was like the Cobra Kai tournament, everyone's
the Hill Valley tournament, all Valley karate.
Hill Valley, that's the word. Yeah, that's how I was looking, as though like he's the man to beat, like kind of break one of his players, sweep the player kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's how. That's low.
Did he actually beat you, rough. Sean, or did you put him in his place?
He absolutely annihilated me, Wayne. He beat me 13-0.
Yeah, don't make him relieve it again.
Yeah,
I think we said long enough ago to move on a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I suppose. Are you over it now, Sean?
No,
I'm still in therapy. I'm sorry. I apologise. Yes.
and frankly, Wayne, you're not helping. To be honest.
No, thank you. I feel bad. I'm going quiet again now. Yeah, don't worry.
Were you still in the game at half time, or that your goose was cooked, kind of thing?
No. I think he was about 9-0 up at half time, and after that, just kind of.
You didn't want to come out for the second half, did you?
Respectable in the second half.
I think actually.
Feign injury.
At one point in the second half, during one of my attacks, he stopped and had a chat with his mate.
He's just rubbing it in.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he was.
This sounds awful.
That's terrible.
I was trying to encourage people to take it up. I don't know if anyone's going to want to take it up after this.
Yeah.
I was a broken man after that.
Does this guy still play now? Yeah, I bet you were. Does this guy still play now?
I don't know. I think he probably is.
I'll have to Google him once we've finished.
Yeah,
and then we're going to have to look for him and do him over or something. But
he was very, very
I'll send him hate mail. Don't worry.
Yeah.
he was actually.
How good,
Go on.
how good could he have been? I don't. If he were that standard, he must have just been.
Yeah. I mean, he was. When you think of Subbuteo, you're probably thinking of all the players wobbling all over the place like weebles and kind of curving round. I mean, he would flick one of his players from his halfway up the pitch, little soft touch into the shooting area, and then shoot, and all incredibly quickly. Because these guys were playing with handmade, machined bases from Switzerland, incredibly flat,
so
fast.
You can stuff like that. Did you move into that kind of thing then? Did you move into that kind of thing, Sean? You really did?
Yeah. I had a.
So how much would...
I had a set of handmade Swiss Astro bases, which at the time, they cost me about £100, I think.
Wow.
Really? Where'd you go for that kind of stuff, apart from Switzerland?
Yeah. Maybe. The clue was in there.
To be honest, I would never. If you would have said to me, what country do you link with Subbuteo? Switzerland would have been very low on my list. Very low on my list.
Isn't UEFA based there?
Why is that?
Well, the first time you see, Trev, the first time that I tried to get a set of these bases from Switzerland, I ended up in Finland. Which, I mean, obviously didn't work. No, I didn't. No. I mean, online you get them. And that was a company called Astro Base. But no, and that's
all they do.
That's high quality stuff. The goalkeepers are metal, they're cast out of metal.
If Trev knows it was metal, he would have all of them. He'd collect it all, wouldn't he? He's so metal.
Saying that, when I was playing, because I thought the advancement in the goalkeepers was like the springy ones, but they were rubbish, weren't they?
Yeah, they were gimmicky, Trev, and also like
shows the level I was playing at.
The strange throw-in figures and the corner kickers that pivoted.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
They don't use those.
Place for those. No place for those in the professional game.
So when you're playing at that kind of level, Sean, do you have all the kind of kit round you, like the ends and the flood? Or is it done just on a basic table?
Yeah. So, if you're playing at that level, what you'd have is your Astro pitch, which is a high quality pitch. On MDF, 18 mil MDF, Trev. With sides. But I think
I know
all about that. But the point you make is a good one. About all the stands and that, because I think that's the attraction of the game, is that it appeals to collectors. Yeah, it absolutely appeals to the collectors, the people like collecting all of that stuff, the stadiums, the teams, all the rest of it. It appeals to the people who like painting their own teams, and it also appeals to the people who like playing it. And I think that's why it was such a successful game.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I actually used to put my own numbers on the back.
Yeah,
I had these little clear stickers that you could, and they were a real git to put on, but you looked like you'd achieved something when you put them on. But so do the players have numbers on, or do they not have numbers on now? Or
no, not the high. The high quality.
No, of course, no. Obviously, as I said before, the level I was playing, obviously, kind of like the Rovers, and obviously not the Liverpool and the kind of Man United of the world.
On the collectible side, Sean, is there like a holy grail of a collectible piece or a set or something in Subbuteo that everyone wants?
Yeah. I mean, there's all. Probably the one that is, one of the ones that is really sought after is the Italian team Palermo.
Yes.
Reference number 98.
They play in pink, don't they, Sean?
They do play in pink.
98. They play in pink, don't they? Yeah, I thought that's why they were collectible.
Yeah, and they're quite rare. And I think these days, if you're trying to find a mint Palermo heavyweight team from the late sort of 60s, that'd set you back about £350, I would imagine now.
Wow. Boot sale time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
when you think, when we used to go to toy shops back in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. What is the inflationary kind of? What was the price of a set when you was collecting this stuff, Sean, for a set of a team?
Oh, I mean, it would vary because you'd quite often get them from a boot sale for 50p.
Yes.
But then, the rare teams, you could pick them up on, eBay for, anything upwards of, £10 up to over £400. So,
Wow.
huge variety really. So
trying to think how much it was when I played when I was a kid. Yeah, I think the teams were about £1.19 because I think the sets.
Yeah.
Kind of 40 years ago were about 18, 20 quid, like the World Cup edition. He had the Spain 82 one when I played in that tournament at the school that Sean and I went to. And I think they were about 20 quid. My big thing right, I remember doing was having, it was about right. Yeah, I think so. And the thing I remember having was I think it must have been either Liverpool or Man United. I actually painted my own Raw the Rovers, Melchester's team. Yeah. I actually had Roy Race up front because I painted his hair yellow so he was blonde. So that's why I used to play, because I used to get Roy the Rovers when I was a kid. So obviously that was a big thing, and because I'd already been into football. And I painted, because I still paint their own teams as well.
Absolutely, yeah. There are people that are
they do
obsessed with that, and I think that's why it's still so collectible now. Because I think there was some stat, I can't remember what it was, but towards the end of the 70s, early 80s, I think it was something like 90% of boys in between the ages of 10 and 13 had a Subbuteo set. Now, so that would mean there's a huge number out there. that people
was this
are still
before
trying
they
to play
found
now.
Their obviously it was before they found their penises, because obviously
here we go. Right, sorry about this, Sean.
Obviously you'd be
now you know what I have to put up with
that, sorry,
you did warn me about this.
I did.
He's done so well up
though.
Lucky I put us in the explicit section on Apple Podcasts.
Exactly. To be honest, I thought I'd done quite well. It's a quarter of an hour into now, and
you held back.
I've done it.
I actually let you say it twice because I couldn't believe it, but
no, I noticed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I kind of know what you're saying. Yeah, there was a sort of truth in that question of sorts.
Yes. Yeah. I think so.
How?
Let's not talk about wrist action.
No, exactly. For that Dutch guy to get that good, how would you practice at home? How do you practice? Do you just play the other guys you're in a club with? How do you train to become a professional sort of Subbuteo player?
Well, Trev, he told me that. I asked him that. After he'd absolutely smashed me at Subbuteo.
Sounds like Richard Keys.
Yeah, exactly.
I asked him that, and he told me that he practiced for 10 hours every day on his own.
What?
Really?
Oh,
was he married?
No. I don't think
what
so.
do you think, Drew?
You surprised me.
Yeah.
You surprised me there. You really do.
Surprise.
He was quite an attractive fella, though.
Yeah.
Eric was.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a show off.
He didn't have a beard. He didn't have a beard.
Good with both hands. Yeah.
I don't understand how you can practice on your own. What do you just?
How do you get good? Yeah. What is the skill?
Into positions. I don't really.
You'd practice your sliding and your shooting. So you'd have your pitch set up, and you would have some players set up, and you would practice trying to slide up from a length.
It sounds like double entendre again. I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I just realised that as that was coming out, I was teeing Trev up there.
Don't encourage him, please.
No.
Yeah.
So I'll say that again. You practice sliding up a length and then shooting.
Lovely.
Oh dear.
Does that answer your question, Trevor, about practicing on your own?
It does. Yeah, it does. Totally. I've got everything I need to know there. You in real layman's terms, I know exactly. But it does make sense, to be honest, because
Even Trev's trying to be serious now. He's got
No.
trying to cover
You know,
up.
Trev,
But what it
you know,
is-
Trev, in snooker, you know how they would try to kiss up to your ball?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. I suppose really it's the same as like a real football team practicing set pieces. It's that kind of thing, I suppose, isn't it?
Exactly that. Yeah, because
is there a tactical style of play?
Funny you should say that, Trev, because in some ways there's a lot of similarities, and this might surprise you, between Subbuteo and chess. Because it's...
You had a laugh, didn't you? Surely. No, I don't believe Charlie. No. Well, explain, please. Please explain.
Let me expand. Let me expand on this. It's a game of strategy, yeah. As is ordinary football. Because you'd have a strategy before you start. Mm-hmm. You've got to think about in the same way when you're playing chess. You've got to think about your pieces and your moves about 5 or 6 moves ahead. That's what you got to do with Subbuteo. You're thinking about that long flick up, but you're also trying to think about where that's going to go to, who's going to shoot, etc., etc. So very, very similar.
Yeah,
it's a very demanding game physically and mentally.
Sounds like, and I was hoping to take Subbuteo up so I wouldn't have to play football in real life, but I think I'll stick to the football.
So the guys that played Subbuteo at this kind of level, club level, were they like the sort of same shape as dart players and snooker players? Like a bit
what are you trying to say? Elaborate on that, Trev. We don't sure what you mean. Remember in the year 2021 as well.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm still in the Werbernick, aren't I? That's the problem.
Yeah.
If our younger listeners don't know who Bill Work is, look, and then you'll get what I'm talking about.
Bill Werbernick, do you mean?
Yeah, there will be very few Kirk Stevens, Trev. Very few Kirk Stevens.
Now that
you know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. There's not.
If
what you're saying is there's not.
Go on,
Trev.
So
he's dropped off.
A kind of and it's not like a kind of flash Subbuteo. In a lot of sports you get the flash posery. You don't get that.
Sorry.
Yeah, you don't get that. You don't get like a guy walk into like a tournament in his sunglasses with his like his golden team.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised to hear, Trev, that you don't as a rule. If you were to walk into a hall where a Subbuteo tournament was going on, well, I think it'd just be safe to say that it's just a rich and diverse cross section of middle-aged men's society,
right?
Except
I think
Eric Verhagen was the exception, because he not only was he very good, but he was also a bit of a poster boy of Subbuteo in the mid to late 90s.
A pin-up. Yeah. I can see him now. I'm going to have to look this guy up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look. Well, I'd done a very small amount, as same as all the other podcasts we do, of research on Subbuteo, and I found a video of a World Cup. I think it was quite a few years ago, and it was something like Scotland versus Wales. Sean, I don't know if you're familiar with it. I
remember the one that you're talking about.
And it was very serious,
wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it did. It seemed quite tense, and I don't know if they were taking it serious. Is that serious? That kind of intensity?
Absolutely serious. Yeah. Because I think at the end of that shot you're talking about, Wayne, it ends up with. I think it's the Welsh fella who I think his name was Carl, and he scores and he shouts out justice and
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's quite.
God, you do know your onions, yeah.
that is quite famous. Yeah, absolutely serious. And I mean in Malta, it was a professional sport at one point, and people people had sponsorships and a living out of it.
Wow, because Malta being sorry.
Do you get crowd violence, like hooligan element to it?
No.
You know,
Sometimes what
you get
happens
the flares
is,
coming over.
No. Occasionally, you might get family members of the players falling asleep and, falling onto each other.
I mean, we're pouring scorn over it here, but I mean, for something that Sean's put a lot of his life into, Trev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are really kind of. Sorry. I apologise.
For anyone who's listening who is really still into their Subbuteo, we apologise. But if you listen to our other podcast, you'll know what we're about, really.
I found it quite hard to actually believe that it was taken that seriously. So if you have any offence, it's all on me. Okay?
Yeah, it's all on Trev. Write to him at so-and-so. I'll give you his address. But no, so you take this as far. Do you still play, Sean?
I don't play at the moment. I last
you injured?
Played... no. So there's
he's done his Achilles.
There's a number of reasons why I don't play.
He's got mould on his fingernails, so he can't play.
I'll explain off tape why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you for reserving. Sorry, if I'd known in advance, I wouldn't have asked the question, obviously. But
once you get over your injury, Sean, do you want to get back into it, though?
Yes. Yeah. At some point,
good.
I think I probably will.
Hopefully, this has encouraged you. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, some people, if they're listening and they want to play somebody who has played the number one player in the world, was it, Sean?
And he's had the experience.
Then get in touch with us at www.amlopodcast.com, the little blue microphone sign. Leave us a message. We'll put you in touch with Sean because he'll want to. Oh, I'm taking it for granted, but maybe he'll want to keep in touch.
Sean's bio will be up, won't it? So they can get in contact, and we won't give your personal details, Sean. Don't worry.
That's good.
We're not that not that loose and fast with it. But I don't know. Hopefully you've listened to the podcast before, Sean. And we have a segment called Test Trev, and we've changed that for season 2, as people will be aware. And we now call it Test the Guest, and we're hoping you wouldn't mind taking part.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Excellent. And here's the new jingle for it, Sean. Test the guest. We're going to test the guest. We're going to test the guest. We're going to test the guest. Test the guest. So I hope it didn't scare you, Sean. But
that is some jingle.
It is some jingle. It's probably professional here now.
We're not mucking about with the jingles this season. Once we've got it, we've got it.
I'll tell you what, Sean was so comprehensive with his introduction to Subbuteo. He's actually answered one of the questions already in the feed. So I feel
let me have that one then.
Excellent.
A brilliant production would have a backup question already ready to go, but we're not professional. So I'm just going to ask it. I think I'll ask that question to Trev, and he should have been listening when you said it. So it'd be quite fun.
Oh, it's a test.
Shows you how much attention. No,
but I'll start with Sean because I've got a question that's not. I mean, not being funny from the knowledge he's got, he's not going to struggle with this, but it hopefully give the people some background knowledge as well. So, question 1 to you, Sean. Subbuteo was originally to be called A, table flick football. Sorry. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's not funny. Table flick football. B, football crazy. C, hobby. Or D, football collector.
Well, any self-respecting Subbuteo fan would know that Peter Adolf, the inventor of Subbuteo...
No! Don't say that name!
Is that my next question?
He won't have listened anyway, Wayne. Don't worry about it. He was a very keen bird watcher, and he wanted to call it...
stuff. Yeah.
He wanted to call it The Hobby, but for trademark reasons he couldn't. So, of course, The Hobby is Falco Subbuteo, the bird. So that's why he called it.
Oh, my God. I was going to give that backup information and you'd actually done it.
Yeah.
You actually give the backup information with the the answer.
That's probably one of the most concise answers we've ever had on this show.
It's like he's reading my screen.
Let's face it. It's about time that we up the quality.
My hat is off.
It's about time that we up the quality.
It is. My hat is off. Yeah. My hat is off to you, Sean. That is incredible.
Yeah, the thing is, Sean's actually in that answer has answered about 3 of the questions I was going to ask. So now it's a test of whether Trev's been listening. So Right.
Come on then.
Good second question to Trev. Subbuteo is derived from the Neo-Latin scientific name Falco subbuteo, which is a bird of prey known as the Eurasian hobby. Sorry, that was the answer. Sorry, I'm giving you the bloody answer to the one that Sean's already given.
I'll say yes.
That's an outtake.
Yes, I
That's
say
an outtake.
yes.
Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing now. See what's happened. It was somebody's come on and knows all the answers. I can't deal with it. Sorry. Next question to Trev. I don't know what I'm doing. The creator of Subbuteo's name was, and I was really careful about how I done the questions here because I thought I confused people. So A, was it Philip Hitler? Was it Peter Adolf? Was it C, Paul German? Or was it D, Phileas French? Oh God!
Oh dear.
I can't do this.
Come on, Trev.
What is it? And he's actually mentioned his name in the last question.
Phileas Fridge. Phileas Fridge.
I'll have Adolf, please.
Adolf.
Peter Adolf.
Well done, Trev. Your ears are working.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
And now I can't ask Sean that because he's already answered that. So I'm going to go to the next one. He's already answered that as well. Oh my God! I've basically this whole segment's gone to pieces.
This is going very well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Perhaps Sean.
I just
Sean
answered.
could ask me a question.
Sean answers the 5 questions. One of the questions. So I need to. I've got one more question. For Sean that Sean can actually answer that it hasn't actually mentioned, and then I'll go back and ask you another one. So I'll give Sean this one.
Yeah.
Which of these other sports has Subbuteo sets available for it? Is it basketball? Is it hockey? Is it show jumping? Or is it ice hockey? Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm just thrown out. He's pretending that he's having some dramatic effect to it.
I am, yeah. I'm
thanks
going
for
to
that.
go for. I'm going to go for because you haven't included the obvious.
No, I
other
didn't
ones in
include the
there.
one you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
That's good question in there, Wayne.
Thank you.
I'm going to go hockey.
It was never in doubt, but I'm glad. I like the kind of the tenseness you put into that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What
Sean.
was the obvious one then?
Cricket or
Cricket
rugby?
and rugby.
Yeah, they were the other two.
Rugby, the other two.
But I left them out
There
because
There
was
was
There
there
was
was
a
a cricket game
Swimming.
called Test Match, wasn't there?
yes.
Yeah, there was test match.
Swimming.
But inferior quality, Trev, we don't like to talk about that.
yeah, it's snobbery, Subbuteo snobbery.
All right. I quite like
It's fully
that, to be
alive.
honest.
Yeah.
How can you have
Yeah.
swimming? How does that work?
Well, that's why I
Do it in the
said Trev,
bath.
because there was a spoof advert for Subbuteo swimming at one point.
Really? Can I
Yeah.
can I view this somewhere? I'll have a look later on because that's
Yeah.
got to be seen. No, it really has.
Google it on the interweb, you'll find it. Or ask Jeeves.
I'm looking forward
Ask
to it.
Jeeves, Trev.
Trev,
I've got another question.
Yeah, you've got another question. And this is already, as I say, Sean's already answered this in one of his elaborate answers. So, this is a test of your ears again. And to prove you shouldn't have been in set 17. So when were the first Subbuteo sets made available? Was it 1922, 1961, 1947, or 1955?
Come on, Trev. Focus.
It has been mentioned.
1922.
Wow.
Sean, can you give him the answer, please?
Now, you see, what you've done there, Trev, what you've done there is you've confused New Footy, which was a table football game produced by William Keeling in 1928.
He's trying to save you now, Trev.
But he didn't trademark that, and Peter Adolf Subbuteo in 1947.
You knew that, Trev, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see where I was going wrong then. You can see
I can
where the
see where you're
mistake was
going wrong,
made.
Trev. Yeah.
I can see money sliding under the table here.
Me out. Yeah, I appreciate him digging me out. It's very good of him.
I've done this for you all my life, Trev, haven't I?
I don't think we're going to have such an elaborate answered questions in our test Test the guest segment ever
don't think
again.
we will. It's just-
and I'm going to have to spend a bit longer doing my production for the quiz from now on, I think.
Stunned me, yeah, completely stunned
You
me.
answered most of them in the first answer. It was all basically, where does the name derive from? What the words, the creator's name, the Neo-Latin, which is the bird of prey known as the Eurasian hobby, and oh dear, you've answered them all.
that, Wayne.
No, it's fine. I'm impressed, to be fair, but just need to up the game.
Yeah, no.
But to sort of sum up, I suppose, I've sort of, in my basic research, which obviously doesn't work, as we can see, I found out that Subbuteo started dying a death when computer games started taking off. Sean, would you say that's true?
Absolutely, yeah, because and we probably saw that ourselves. Why would you get out a Subbuteo pitch, get it all set up, get all the players? We can just turn on your ZX Spectrum and it's all there for you.
Of course.
So yeah,
you're getting your football
sadly,
fix basically from playing a computer game. A lot simpler, easier to collect than a game. Is there anything you'd like to know as a summary, Trev, about Subbuteo?
Myself, well, there was never a computerized version of it. Was there never a computer game associated with Subbuteo? Because you
how would you simulate it though? But
there was.
I think there was, Trev.
True,
yeah, but it was never very
this
popular.
Is why. No, but I can see it.
Yeah,
how it might work, but I can see how it wouldn't work as well. I completely understand. So really, what we're saying is FIFA has taken over from Subbuteo, really, hasn't it?
Yes.
Well, that breaks my heart to hear it, but yeah, it does.
Yeah,
really.
The thing is, you mean that, yeah, and I get it.
Hearts.
I don't think you've just broken it to him, Trev.
Yeah,
I think he knew that already, but
I mean that's a stake through my heart, Trev, what you just said there.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it is. I think.
So, is there any so people that are listening for their serious part of Subbuteo, is there any resources or for people that maybe want to get involved now that you would recommend?
Yeah, so there's a national organisation, the English Subbuteo Association. If you just Google them, I think they have a list of clubs on their website, and you should be able to find one, fairly local. And just go along. I mean, in my experience, all the tournaments, all the clubs I've played in, everyone's really friendly, and just go along and enjoy it.
Lovely. That's brilliant, Sean. Thank you. Actually, you have been very informative.
Thank you for that.
And it's been fun as well.
Very much.
And we thank you for joining us today and giving us all that background.
I do apologise to actually the people.
Yeah, taking it seriously. You know what we're about.
Subbuteo.
Yeah.
We know.
Absolutely.
There's no offence meant.
No.
But because obviously Sean took it very seriously. It's just because it's a completely different world. To me now, to what I was when I was a kid. So no offence meant by it, and it's been a really entertaining episode doing it, to be honest. It really has.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us today,
I've enjoyed it, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Well, I found that really interesting, Trev. I mean, there's a few bits there that were quite shocking to me, and obviously Sean's played at a very high level. What did you think?
Yeah, he obviously was definitely a good player, and he must have a really good temperament, because that Dutch guy, if he would have took the Michael out of me like that, playing left-handed and showing off, he would have just got a punch in the throat. I don't care. I don't. It would have been like the Zidane.
When he headbutted you.
When he would have got one of them right in his chest. To be honest, Sean must have taken that really well.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's just taking the mickey, isn't it?
Yeah,
really, you play left-handed because and
he was a pin-up as well, so he's had it all going on.
What's that about? What David Cassidy of the Subbuteo pitch? What's the Peter Andre of Flick to Kick? Get out, mate, get out. Yeah, and not having any of that, mate.
No, get back in your clogs and. Bugger off.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
Back to. Oh, come on and justify yourself.
And by the way, we're not having a pop at all the Dutch nations.
No, we think you're cool, all of you.
Just one particular show.
What was his name?
Subbuteo. I'm a git.
Yeah, it couldn't be Eugene Bolokov on that one.
No,
could it?
exactly. Yeah. Van World Git, that's what his name was.
But yeah, I found a lot in that. I found that really interesting.
Brilliant.
So, a subject like
Loved it,
Subbuteo,
yeah.
so much to it, and I didn't realise that it was obviously played so seriously. So, thank you very much, Sean.
Yeah, I did. To be honest, yeah, I had a bit of background on that. I know how serious they take it and stuff. Yeah, great. If I had the room, I'd probably take it up again.
Yeah,
I really would, because it is.
you'd have to
good.
sell some trainers first.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, I think my Subbuteo team would probably play better than my real team in real life.
Who's your Subbuteo team?
Well, obviously, I'll probably be Spurs again, and they'd probably.
Oh, you mean better. Literally? Better,
yeah. The Spurs Subbuteo team would probably be better than the Spurs team in real life.
I thought you'd have Birmingham, but sorry, that's
just heritage.
Yeah, okay. But no, it's really enjoyable. I think I'm going to be looking out for Subbuteo sets at the boot sales.
Yeah,
Not that I go to the boot sales, but
if it's the room, if I had the room, I'd do it. I would go back into it.
And as always, if you've got any questions, anyone that we can pass on to Sean and he'll answer them for you, could visit the website, www.amlopodcast.com. We're always looking to hear from you. Or if you want to be a guest at some point, you've got an interest or something that we want to come on and discuss, we'll talk about anything. To be honest, we'll give you a landscape to put your hobby across. So please get in touch. So, yeah, thanks for listening.
Full time.
Yeah, I think full time and no injuries. So we'll end it there. Thanks, Trev. And I'll see you on the next one,
later. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please leave a rating and review and visit our website at www.amlopodcast.com to check out all the links and resources in the show notes. Start living them good times. See you next time.